Welcome back to our channel, the Research Guild. If you've ever felt like the Global Perspectives Component 1 exam is kind of this big black box, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to explore the smart methods and advanced strategies to absolutely nail your GP Component 1 exam paper. I'm going to be sharing some seriously powerful insider tips that go way beyond the textbook, so make sure you stick around till the end of this one. Okay, let's just dive right in. The big question, the one that's always on everyone's mind is, what on earth do the examiners really want? It's so frustrating, right? You write what feels like a fantastic answer, but then the grade you get back just doesn't match up. Well, that's because the key isn't just knowing your stuff. It's about getting inside the examiner's head and understanding their very specific mindset. But here's the secret. This exam isn't some unsolvable mystery. Not at all. It's actually a code. It's got rules, it's got patterns, and yeah, it's got predictable traps. And today, using insights I've pulled directly from official Cambridge Examiner reports, we are going to crack that code. Together, I'm going to show you exactly how to think like they do and give them precisely what they're looking for. So here's our game plan. First, we'll crack that overall examiner's code. Then, we're going to break down each question one by one. We'll talk surgical precision for Q1, how to be the detective for Q2, and how to act as the judge for Q3. And then at the end, I'll give you a super powerful A-grade cheat sheet to bring it all home. Let's get started. So, where are all these secrets coming from? Well, they're straight from the source. I've gone deep into the official Cambridge Example Candidate Responses booklet, and let me tell you, this document is the ultimate key. It gives us a direct, insider's peek into what separates a top-scoring paper from just an average one. And this quote right here says it all. The report itself says, you can see what gets marks and what doesn't. I mean, they are literally telling us the rules of the game. So we're not just guessing here. We're using their own feedback to build a winning strategy. All right, let's kick things off with question 1. Now, this question looks simple, but trust me, it is full of traps. Think of this as a test of your efficiency and precision. It's only worth a few marks, so the goal is to get in, grab those points, and get out without wasting a single second. Okay, the number one mistake, the biggest trap students fall into on this question, according to the examiners, is duplication. You find one good point, and then you just rephrase it 2 or 3 times, thinking you're giving 3 separate answers. But really, you're just illustrating one single idea. This is a massive waste of time on a question where every second counts. Let's look at a real example from that report. The low-scoring answer on the left, it only gets 1 mark. Why? Because hiding records and mistakes don't affect their future are basically just examples of offering more protection. It's the same point, just dressed up differently. But the high-scoring answer on the right gives 3 genuinely different points: rehabilitation, protection, and steering youth to success. See the difference? Each one is a totally separate idea. So the pro tip here is simple but crucial. 1 unique idea equals 1 mark. Period. So when you write down your 3 points for question 1, stop and ask yourself, are these actually different concepts? If they are, awesome. If not, find new ones. Be ruthless, get those marks, and move on. Okay, let's move on to question 2. This is where we really level up. You're not just finding points anymore. You need to become a detective. It's not enough to just spot the evidence. You've got to analyze it, you've got to question it, and you've got to figure out its real impact on the author's entire case. This 3-step process is your golden key for question 2. For every piece of evidence, you do these 3 things. First, you identify it. Easy enough. Second, you explain it. But that 3rd step, that's the secret sauce. You have to evaluate its impact on the author's overall argument. This last step is what separates a good answer from a truly great one. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Here's the proof. This is a direct quote from an examiner. And get this, it's a comment on a high-scoring response. Even this strong student lost marks because they just described the impact, but they didn't fully explain it. That 3rd step, evaluation, is absolutely non-negotiable for the top grades. So here's what that looks like in the real world. The example on the left is fine. It's okay. It identifies the statistics and says they make the argument stronger. But the example on the right, that's where the A grade lives. It explains why. It makes the argument more plausible, it gives an objective idea, and ultimately it strengthens the argument's credibility. That, my friends, is true evaluation. So here are your pro tips for question 2. Your mental checklist. Always try to find both strengths and weaknesses for a balanced answer. Be super suspicious of vague phrases like research shows, like whose research? And most importantly, constantly ask yourself that golden question, so what? How does this little piece of evidence actually change the power of the whole argument? And now for the big one, question 3. This is worth the most marks, and it's where so many students stumble. But there is a secret code here too, and honestly, it's pretty simple. The secret is to stop writing 2 separate mini-essays and start acting like a judge in a debate, constantly comparing the 2 sides point for point. The most common mistake, the one examiners are always complaining about, is right there on the left. The student discusses all of document A, then they discuss all of document B, and then they just kind of slap a conclusion on at the end. It's weak, it's disjointed. The A-grade approach, on the right, is integrated. It's a dance. You take one theme, like evidence, and you compare document A and B on that specific theme in the same paragraph. Then you do it again for perspective, for author credibility, making these little judgments all the way through. And here's the proof, straight from the report. The examiners are explicitly telling you that considering the documents separately leads to an uneven structure and repetition. They're literally telling you exactly what not to do. Your answer has to be a direct, sustained comparison from the very beginning to the very end. So the mantra for question 3, I want you to burn this into your brain, is think point by point, not document by document. Pick a battle, say the use of statistics, and have the 2 documents fight it out right there. Then you declare a winner for that point. Move on to the next battle, maybe author expertise, and do it all over again. That is how you build a powerful, high-scoring argument. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, and we have decoded each part of this paper. So now let's pull it all together into one final, powerful cheat sheet. These are the master keys that are going to unlock your top grade. Here it is. For question 1, be precise. 3 different points, no duplicates. For question 2, be the detective. It is all about evaluating the impact of the evidence. For question 3, be the judge. Compare point by point, never ever separately. And for every single question, pay super close attention to the command words and give the examiner exactly what they asked you for. So there you have it. You've got the insider knowledge now. You understand how the examiner thinks. The exam isn't a mystery anymore. You've cracked the code. But listen, cracking the code is only half the battle. Now you have to put it into action. And to help you do that, I've created some free worksheets based on this lesson, so you can practice these exact strategies. The links are right there for you in the description below. Download them, work through them, and turn all this knowledge into a real skill. And hey, if you found this explainer helpful, please do me a favor and smash that like button. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and of course, subscribe and hit the little notification bell. That way you won't miss out on any of our upcoming expert exam guides. Thanks for watching, and go get that A grade.